We might as well start the show, right? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Big shout out to Joanne. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. Family here. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I put this studio back together. Let me put the music down a little bit. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. I mean, today, Monday already. I think, yes, it's still Sunday for you, if I'm not mistaken. Big shout out to Costa Rica. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. Big shout out to Joanne. Big shout out to Joanne. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. So we're here, True Crime Chat Rooms. This is your channel. I know it's been a long time. Hopefully now the studio goes back to normal. You know, working on the laptop and stuff like that. Like, quality's not always there. You know what I mean? Quality's not always there. So it took me a long time to get back some kind of normal. I miss you though. I miss you for real, for real. It's been a while. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you for being here. How Amy and Joanne are doing? How y'all doing today though? We're gonna be talking about the Idaho 4 case, Bryan Kohberger. But today we're gonna be talking more like going back. Week 1. I always like to go back. I have gotten all the emails, all the DMs. Yeah, I know I get them. You know, I read them. I'm doing great, Amy. I'm doing great. Amy Conway advise you to please make sure to hit the like. Very appreciated. We're going to have a very productive conversation today. You know, I heard everything y'all say, and again, no excuses due to technical difficulties. I wasn't really able to do what I want to do. So just come, have a conversation, try to give you the best quality available. When we share a video, it doesn't skip. It doesn't sound like my apologies. But hopefully, let me know how's the video, how's the sound. Hopefully everything good. Thank you for everyone watching. I know this channel grew up quick though. Big shout out, and big shout out to the original Miss Martin. Thank you so much for her support. Very appreciated. Big shout out to Speak Van Holden. Actually, good news. Let me tell you some good news. I had the opportunity to talk to Speak Bang Holding. He's doing okay, everything good. Um, I'm gonna let him tell y'all what's going on. He's about to be back on the show soon. He's handling certain things. Um, he's okay. He's all right. Uh, yes, it's true that it was a intent to his life. Pretty soon we're gonna come with more information about that, so like that everybody gets informed about what's going on. But big shout out to Speak Bang Holding. My love and support. Big shout out to Rock Chalk. Big shout out to Rock Chalk. Big shout out to Megs. Big shout out to Larissa. Everybody back, family back, everything good, everything good. Larissa's getting married soon. Big shout out, big celebration. Very happy. All the whole community is very happy for her. Everything that she got going on. Big shout out to Megs. She got the game show. Very nice. It's very relaxing. Just go and kick it at the chat room and just play some good games and stuff. It's very relaxing. Big shout out to Kursuma. Yeah, yeah, big shout out. It's a lot of people that we need to shout out. Big shout out to Harsh Reality. You know what's up? That's my guy. Um, Big shout out to Southern Logic. I haven't heard from Southern Logic for a long time. He haven't upload for a long time neither, and I've been trying to figure it out. I left him an email a long time ago. Um, Let him know we appreciate his content, his collaboration, and that we hopefully, everything is okay and he makes a comeback soon. Hopefully, our prayers for him. Hopefully, everything good. I haven't got a reply back yet, but big shout outs and mad love to Southern Logic. As always, Dago, Crime Time with Mama Bear. Big shout outs to all of y'all. His many other content creators as Sleuty Goose. Big shout out to Sleuty Goose. Big shout out to Tasalaji. Many other great content creators and YouTube true crime that actually are doing a great work. I heard the comments about people don't trust content creators that don't show their face and people overall, when we in YouTube true crime, 9 times out of 10 where you are an influential content creator like myself and many others, you're gonna get a flood of emails and a flood of communication from moderators, from subscribers, um, randoms and stuff like that. Big shout out to ya. I know it's tough to trust, like I call it anonymous sources, because it's like those email accounts or those YouTube accounts and some content creators that really don't want to show their face, bring their names up. They say they hiding their identity for whatever reasons. Boo-hoo. What can I say? I really don't care though. I've been trying to make sure that my purpose for what I'm here for is stays clear. I know it's a lot of YouTube drama left and right. I seen it, I hear it, but you know what? It gets to the point that you got to take a little vacation from it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it gets hectic though. So I say that to say this, we've been trying to slow down the tone here in this channel, not just here, actually here in True Crime chat rooms, because this is a more open platform. Over there in the main channel and True Crime America with Jrod on Point. Over there, I'm just more um I don't know, able to just do and say what I want, not caring the most for some viewers. Over here we try to keep it unbiased and welcome everyone. We unbiased at all time, but when those people comes like guilty, guilty, ooh, 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 we like block. Some of them, because some people that is nice and bring a point that they believe that is considered. We listen to it and we try like share our opinion with them and have a conversation, agree to disagree. It's really, at least in this channel, again, the name is True Crime Chat Room, so I'm trying to keep it wide open for everyone. Just subscribe, enter to the chat, have a conversation. Agree to disagree. We have a poll up there right now. We got 39 votes. So far, I say with what you know today is Bryan Kohberger, question mark, guilty, innocent. Right now we have a 79% of the votes innocent and 21% guilty. It might change as it goes through the live stream. Again, thank you everyone that is here watching this very small, humble channel. You know, we're not doing too much unnecessary drama because, again, we try to keep an open perspective of the reality. Like when it's drama, as long as you bring perspective, base, and fundamentals and a good argument about it, is always good to share with y'all, our discrepancies with other content creators, again, called true crime drama. But again, if you see, I'm learning a lot. I believe that if we do it the right way and just keep it to the 100, which that's what I've been trying to do since the very beginning, just keep it 100, make it make sense and whatnot. Even with the content creators that we disagree today, they still welcome to come and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, even those content creators that believe that I'm misunderstanding something or whatnot, listen, I'm always open for a conversation. So there's really no need for no stress. It's all content. So at the end of the day, we're not trying to really mentally disturb no other content creators here in YouTube True Crime. I'm just try to keep a smiley face, try to give you my understanding on the cases and whatnot, and actually enjoying a little bit more making content. The studio look pretty, look nice. Um, it seems that the equipment is working pretty good. So thank God for that. So big shout out. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and share the content. We are over here in True Crime chat rooms. Make sure to subscribe, enter the conversation. Subscribe also to Jrod on Point. And if you see any value in the conversations that we have in here, send your tip to the Cash App, the On Point Family. Please make sure to click like, subscribe, and share the content, which is very much appreciated. So today we're gonna be listening to Bruce Maguire, best known as Mindshock. His channel is very great. I like his presentation. Um, I believe that from all the content creators on YouTube that are doing true crime right now, Bruce Maguire is one of the best. I understand, a lot of people, find funny the voice that he utilized to have his presentation and whatnot. But if you ask me, for me, that's a very interesting um, voice, very well selected. The tone, the poise, the conversation, the analytical thought, and in the way he presents um, his information base in news media outlets, and also he bring his own thoughts to it and put it together. Want to actually introduce to you Mindshock. I did a collaboration in the main channel long time ago, and that was in the 2.3K. I did a collaboration with Bruce. I did share my thoughts. It's healthy, and you could tell when you are listening to a content creator that is the information is easy to digest, and it's a good listening. Mindshock, Bruce Maguire is a very pleasant listening. So I believe that y'all will enjoy the information. This is gonna be the very first week. Um, his analysis from the very first week, and I think I might do a part two, part three. It depends how much you like this presentation, and if you appreciate the content that we provide in collaboration with Bruce Maguire. Big shout outs to him, his tag on the live stream and everything. So we are gonna listen to his very first expose from week one, which I'm gonna add a little sauce of what I know, and I think it'd be a very good conversation. A very good conversation going back is very important. Let me go to the chat here real quick. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Amy Conway say, "Hey brother, I was wondering if we could do down the road live, just questions. So many in this case, then chat brainstorm. Yes, 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 of course. Everyone in the chat room, everyone that is watching is more than welcome to enter the conversation. We have Amy Conway in the chat, main moderator. She gonna make sure that the visit is very pleasant here. Um, yeah, definitely gonna enjoy the conversation with Amy Conway. We also have Joanne right now. I think she might be working or something, but she always listening. We appreciate her so much, and she always paying attention to the chat. Very appreciated. Right now we have 48 votes. 48 votes. 74 innocent. 26 guilty. The guilt is going up though. The guilt is going up actually, and that's good too. That's good to know because at this day today, I believe the power of legacy media is very noticeable. We understand that when we having to balance the information with major labels of information, like all news media outlets right now, doing the incursion to YouTube. It seems that cable and satellite is not making the numbers that they are doing here in YouTube. Actually, YouTube has become a major platform uh, for true crime conversation and narrative. Um, right now the niche is so big that you could find all type of true crime conversation and many platforms, many sound, video, content creators that like to go live like myself and make videos here and there. Actually, I'm working on the next series that we're gonna drop on the main channel. Again, we're gonna go back to the top. The next series that I'm gonna drop in the main channel is gonna be a 2022 series. Is gonna be a classic from back then. They're gonna have to apologize me if any type of quality issues and whatnot. But again, it was 2022, not long ago. But again, back then I didn't have the quality that we have today. But the information in those videos is very good to at least listen to, and it's kind of like for those moderators, for those subscribers that have been following me for the past 2 years and a half. We're doing that with the Kiely Rodni videos. We're trying to save some of those videos from the archives, and we try to share them and make sure that everyone catch up with whatever we have done far as is the Kiely Rodni case and the Idaho 4. So everyone gets to catch up little by little with what we've been doing for the past 2 years. So yeah, we've been doing that in the main channel. Um, we will go live in the Jrod on Point live channel more often because I wanna work that channel up. In that channel, I'm uploading every single live stream that we ever had. So I've been taking my time within that. I think I have the very first live stream that we ever had in the main channel that it got terminated. We still I did save that, so we have it available in Jrod Point Live. Make sure that y'all go and subscribe to that channel. We're gonna start doing great content there, and we're gonna be sharing in the different pages and whatnot. But at some point, I'm trying to keep that one channel for the live streams, like regular live streams, to just come and kick it. Over here is gonna be more like with the over here True Crime Chat Room is gonna be more for collaborations. We're gonna have many hosts, and we're gonna have a conglomerate of true crime content creators and just content creators that want to have a conversation about the true crime cases that we are working on. And that'll be a great thing because again, True Crime Chat Room is gonna be something. It's gonna be bring everyone together. The main channel, I'm gonna still dropping lives over there, but that's gonna be like for big situations, as far as the cases, like when something just pretty big pop up, I want to go there and make sure that I bring everyone together over there. But again, the Dewert Entertainment Network is in full effect. I think now, let me shut up the music before we start the show. Again, prelims, appreciate everyone's patience. Thank you so much. Everyone watching, make sure that you click like, subscribe. I think the studio is in full effect. I think one, two, three, four, 6 screens. We got all the technology in place. I think I'm very happy of the results. Again, the main studio PC back. We're gonna put some work. Vacations is over. Thank you everyone for being here. And right now, without further ado, we are going to be listening to Mindshock, Brooks Maguire. We're going to go back in time to the very first week and listen to the details. Yeah, very, very welcome to have a conversation in the chat room. Um, all questions are good questions. So if anything that y'all want to bring to the table, that'll be good. If anyone wanna come to the panel, raise your hand, and we'll make sure we have a good time. Big shout out to Bruce Maguire. Very appreciate all his work. So let's listen to Mindshock.
If you like audiobooks or audio shows, check out a free trial of Audible. Just click the link in the description. Welcome to Mindshock True Crime, a special report of sorts coming at you today regarding the 4 Idaho students that were slayed in one of the most horrific, appalling, and just downright unacceptable in any kind of modern society. I mean, words that come to mind are, of course, tragic, terrible, horrific, but unacceptable has to be up there. I mean, in what society is this acceptable in any way? Especially in a modern police state, surveillance state, where this is all still going on. And it's just crazy, mind-shocking. Normally, I wait a period of time before covering recent cases. In general, awareness is up there with recent cases, so it's not something I usually do, but there have been a lot of requests, and of course, again, the nature of this crime and the ripple effect is so extreme that it really needs to be covered.
And that's true. I was one of the persons that I requested him to cover the case in the comment section. I was one of the people that sincerely, asking to please cover this case. Because I have listened to all his other takes on other cases and stuff like that, like the Delphi case and the Kiely Rodni case, and his linguine in true crime. Like, it's very good to have a base of thought, have a content creator that you could just go and have a listening, very unbiased, very to the thought, very to making sure that everyone understand that we just know nothing. We know what we know. We have chased and followed the breadcrumbs, and we all got our theories. We all got our understanding of the information in hand, but at the same time, until everything comes out to the light, it's very tricky though, because it's like myself. I catch myself, getting very passionate about a topic because it's tough. Like, the information that we get to listen and get to an understanding sometimes is not like the most pleasant. It's actually, if you ask me, not pleasant at all. Big shout out to Sherry Butler. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. Big shout out to Cheryl Butler. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. Thank you so much. As y'all come in, please make sure y'all click like, subscribe, and share the content. Something very interesting on this first presentation, on these first 16 bars of information within the presentation. It's very interesting that even though Moscow, Idaho didn't have violent crime like this type for a long time. We understand that that area has become to a higher level of civilian, of observation, crowd control, modern days technology, cameras everywhere. It's a university town. I'm located at in a university town, city in this case. In my case, is a city, bigger budget, whatnot. But security around here is top notch. Top notch. Like for something really to happen around here is rare. They active, is things happening, but for other places around the world and here in the United States, this is a very chill area. Very chill. It's a lot of security, a lot of officers, sheriff, state troopers, name it. Like drones flying everywhere. Um, cities and towns, their main income is out of universities. Those areas get the most funded, federal funds and stuff like that, local donations and whatnot, local owners and stuff. It's very particular when I listen that this area, which is a Greek life community, because overall everyone in that block is from the Greek life community. So due to the area is a Greek life community, it's supposed to be the most guarded by the private police from the university, by Moscow PD, state troopers, undercovers. It's well known that FBI and local authorities gets undercovers and CIs and stuff like that within the university locality, the whole area, with everything that it has to do with fraternities, sororities, within the victims. We having victims in different sororities. One fraternity, but the young ladies were from two different sororities. This is an area that's supposed to be the most guarded, the most protected. Because again, the university give an oath to every parent that send their young adults to get a higher level of education in the University of Idaho. And of course, it's a commitment to loyalty, to safety, to higher learning, to culture, high value, high morals. This is everything is being advertised by the community overall. So then something like this happen is we talking about in one of the most secure they partying a lot in these residents because they felt safe. You're not gonna party and be all out if you're afraid of your environment. They party, have the lifestyle, which again, no one here is victim blaming because again, when you're a young adult, you are going to live life. You're gonna live life. And the majority of us, we learn out of our own mistakes. Is some people that don't is not lucky enough to learn from mistakes or whatnot. But again, no one deserves what happened. No one. Let's get that clear and out the way. So when Bruce Maguire mentioned that this is a very police state area, which is supposed to be because this is the money making. Here is where everyone should be the most secure. We could see in the body cams that officers, it seems kind of like harassing type of attitude within local residents, which again, this is sororities and fraternities, apartments, residents rented for the season, but they all are from the Greek life community. So again, it's very not likely at all that this would have happened in this area without being inner plotted. Hopefully makes sense to you. But it's very difficult for an area that is very guarded by authorities and local private police within the university. I believe that every student protected each other at all times. So that means, remember, all vandals protect each other. If any outsider, non-vandal, comes around the area, it's gonna be noted. It's gonna be noted. Everyone, all vandals will have an understanding that a non-vandal is roaming around the ranks. So again, it goes back to what Bruce Maguire said. It's very, very interesting how in an area that is well protected, again, it's being shared that this was a party house, right? Everybody had access to the key lock and the front door and whatnot. The back door, it was wide open. It only closed with a tool, a bar stool stuck on the floor between the door and the frame to lock it down. So in that case, you need someone to pop the stool up for that door to be wide open. So, but someone had to take it. Someone has to move the chair for the back door to be wide open for anyone to come in and out. But again, let's go back to the listening. Let's not get too ahead on the conversation. But yes, it's very rare that something like this will happen in an area so protected and so guarded, not just by local authorities, but within the fraternities and sororities. They have a they have ranks. They watch over each other. And again, especially when the area has majority is sororities, 9 times out of 10, the fraternities apartments that are in the area, they gonna, you know what I'm saying, they want to watch over the girls and make sure that everything is good. You know what I mean? Because, you know, 9 times out of 10, you know, guys, we try to look after if we see anything, you know, off site that is not correct. You know, 9 times out of 10, stand up guys, we try to, like, you know, check the situation, be like, hey, everything okay? So I'm gonna get to the chat right now. Let me get my thought out. So like that, we get to the listen with Bruce Maguire. But yes, it's very noted from the very beginning, day one. It felt this whole case is very close to home. Authorities call it the crime scene by itself. The number of victims, the bond between all four victims. Because there's a lot of people that don't talk about the bond that these four young adults had together. Let's make that understand it, that all four had the same tattoo in their body. 9 times out of 10, when that happened, is, you know, it's a family thing. We bonded to the point that, you know, we started being friends. Now we family. We trust each other. It's a loyalty thing. You know, I have you initial in my body type of thing. You know, people need to understand. I have tattoos. You know, I know what my tattoos mean for me. Only me know the meaning. So when someone tattoo their body with the initials of their friends, it's a unity. It's a conglomerate. It's a brotherhood and sisterhood, okay, within these four young adults. The same four young adults that went through that morning. So I was listening to Harsh Reality not long ago. Big shout out to Harsh Reality. And he mentioned something that is been in my thought for a while, but it's like when he said it, and the thing is that we had exchanged information. Like, he know my thought. I sent him an email with my thoughts for what I seen, for what I gathered, for the obvious. When he said both floors could be the target, all four victims could be the target. It could be an igniter. It could be an igniter, a trigger, a that's it. The bottom line. Lines was crossed. And due to that one trigger, which is that one decision to kill one out of four, the killers know that they have to kill all four. Because someone is going to snitch. Someone is gonna break the code of loyalty to the Vandals, and due to they have such a close bond with the main target. It could be due to that night and morning, it was things going on in both parties, and Ethan and Santa side. And before we get too far into it, it's well known that Dylan invited Kiely to come over. And if Dylan invited Kiely to come over, how come that Kiely and Dylan did not hang out together? She only hanging with Maddie. That's it. Sometimes people need to always go back and listen and pay attention and not get emotional and trying to see who's right or who's wrong, or whatever your intentions, or bringing some narrative or whatnot. The best thing to understand is going back and listen and pay attention and realize that before they even got to Kohberger, it was some unfinished business with the inner circle and family members. It was a conflict of interest of the University of Idaho and all the people involved with this massacre. All the fraternity, Sigma Chi, and the two sororities were all in probation. If this would have hit the fan and it was any type of foul play, they all would have got expelled. And it's no more business with the sororities and fraternity. No longer. They get banned out the campus in that particular university. I don't know if it gets consequences and then major national repercussions to the particular entities and whatnot. I don't know if that would occur, but I do know that if it was any kind of foul play within the members of any fraternity, any sorority, because again, people's talking about Kohberger and Hopberger and Kohberger and whatnot. I say no burger for now. I said no burger. Because again, before you got to Kohberger, we need a lot to talk about. Because it was a lot of steps. The authorities looked away of those common sense steps on any investigation that never were taken. Because the amount and volume of people involved, were from where they from and whatnot, and their families, and the heck with all that. They are part of the University of Idaho. That just that right there by itself, the university don't basically care about who you are. Now they're caring about damage control and chaos management. which Scott Green is very good at that, as we could see it in the book, right? He was in charge of a lot, which is good and hopefully comes back soon. That due to that he was in charge of a lot. I might spank him in the back one day. So big shout out, big shout out. I'm gonna go to the chat. We're gonna play this great conversation with Bruce Maguire. We're gonna be listening to some great meats and potatoes about the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. Again, this conversation right here is from day one, before even a Kohberger it was even mentioned. Okay, so let's just have a quick conversation in the chat room. Let's listen to a great content creator, Bruce Maguire, Mindshock. Make sure y'all subscribe to Mindshock and share the content, guys. All right, we have him tagged on the description. And while we're listening to his presentation, I'm gonna be going to the chat and have a chit chat with y'all. Big shout out.
And we'll be going over this case, looking over all available information and different theories in typical Mindshock fashion with logic and reason at the forefront. As always, if you find the Mindshock podcast interesting and informative, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. You can also become a YouTube member right here on YouTube for access to exclusive streams and chats. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications. You can also check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon, and share those. Get the word out about Mindshock and logical examination, because logic and reason really are going extinct in this world. And it is more and more apparent on social media, of course. Patrons do get priority for case topic, logical analysis, co-podcaster requests. You could also be a guest in the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind, leave them in the comment section. So let's tackle this right away. Let's start out with the CNN write-up. Here's what we know and don't know about the killings of 4 University of Idaho students, as a suspect has yet to be identified. November 19th, 2022, by Aya L.M. Rousey. As the University of Idaho mourns the loss of 4 students killed in an attack at an off-campus home last weekend, a community remains in crisis over few known details surrounding the students' deaths and the lack of an identified suspect. The 4 students, Ethan Chapin, 20, Kiely Gonzalez, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Madison Mogen, 21, were found Sunday stabbed to death on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the home in Moscow, Idaho, according to authorities. So 2nd and 3rd floor. I mean, this is a complicated crime with multiple victims, male and female. I mean, this is not a typical crime by any stretch of the imagination. Key details on how the gruesome attacks unfolded remained unclear Friday, even after the Moscow Police Department provided an update into the extensive investigation that includes federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. Police revealed the 4 victims were likely asleep before the attack began during the early morning hours of Sunday, and each was stabbed multiple times. The attacks were not reported to authorities until around noon that day, police have said. A week after the homicide shook the small college city of some 26,000 residents, investigators have not identified a suspect, nor did they find the murder weapon used to carry out the heinous attacks. Here's what we know and still don't know as the investigation continues. How the physical struggle unfolded remains unclear. All 4 victims' killings were ruled homicides by stabbing, according to Latah County Coroner Kathy Mabott. Of the victims, some had defensive wounds, Moscow police said in their most recent update Friday. But
That's very particular. It's very particular in the very, very beginning of this case. Authorities made it very clear that some of the victims had defensive wounds. That's very important to know, because when they say some, I would like to say a couple, two be some. Um, I would like to say that the two be some, three be the majority, just to keep a couple static, you know. So when they some of the victims had defensive wounds, now we having later on family members coming out from Sana side of the family and from Kiely side of the family that them two fought the attack, fought the attackers. In my opinion, Ethan didn't have a chance. I think due to what is being presented, this is like public information and the stuff that is being available. We understand that Santa was our vet, located final placement of the body on top of her bed, as authorities shared. Also, it's very clear that Ethan was not behind the door and the door was not closed. The door was not trapped with Ethan's body and whatnot. Let's understand that if the story that some people narrative they want to put out there was truth, soon as Hunter pushed the door, forced it in, now you're pushing the body. That's tampering a crime scene, if that was true. But it's well known, well shared that Ethan was not even inside of the room where Santa was located. He was just right outside that door. Between the frame of Santa's door and the bathroom door, right between. When Hart mentioned that everyone could be the target, it makes sense. For the matter of the fact that to kill one, the other three, the other two, the other three and four are not going to keep a secret. Or at least the perpetrators and the killers are not going to trust them in particular, because they have a loyalty level, a bond that is higher than whatever the powers to be within them, within the Vandals. When the balance of loyalty is within a group, let's say a group of four, and they all in the same vicinity, and it's only those four people that has discrepancy within the Vandals, You just need the majority of the leadership of the youngins of the vandals to say yay for something like this to happen, because they all control the whole locality. Everyone that he lives around know what's up. This is why when I listen to content creators like Bruce Maguire, it's healthy because it gives you the information as unbiased as possible. His own speculations and opinions based on information and his own way of thinking make it make sense. I appreciate that. When I listen to a content creator like Bruce Maguire, I could understand that someone in the community besides myself is taking this business serious. And big shout outs and big appreciation to Bruce Maguire. Um, Great content, great conversation, great information, great analysis. So without further ado, let's get back to work. Let's listen to one of the best true crime content creators in YouTube. And I'm gonna get back to the chat room. So like that, everyone be participant of the chat, which I appreciate all of y'all. Make sure that your questions, your comments, put in the chat. I'm gonna get to you. Let's just listen to a great presentation. Thank you.
It's unclear how many of the victims or which victims precisely had defensive wounds. Earlier this week, the father of Zaina Kernadal revealed that his daughter fought off her attacker through the very end. Bruises torn by the knife. She's a tough kid, Jeffrey Kernadal told CNN affiliate KPHO KTVK in Avondale, Arizona. When Mabbitt arrived to the crime scene, she saw lots of blood on the wall, she told CNN. Each victim was stabbed multiple times, likely by the same weapon, Mabbitt said, stopping short of specifying how many wounds or where most were located. How do they know it wasn't more than one person?
This question is very important. This question is very important. How they got to the conclusion. First and foremost, before they even get to Kohberger, they were talking about this white vehicle and with multiple assailants in it. They wanted to talk to multiple individuals within that white vehicle. Big shout out to Cheryl. Cheryl said, in just a few weeks, we have 4 students in Brecopaka unalive. Yes, indeed, touche. Several other students mysteriously ended but not reported as crimes. And yes, I don't know if you have heard the same information that I've been gathering, but it seems Timmy, you remember Timmy, that he got bullied by his own friends in front of his house. It seems that that situation had legs. It seems that situation with Timmy got legs because it's being said from the very beginning that a guy named Timmy was around the house. We could only speculate that the third DNA found outside could be anyone, right? But what about if the third DNA that he was found outside came from inside? He just threw outside, like, hopefully someone that is not an expert or is not a kind of like a first timer in those type of activities, committing crimes like that at that level. Someone we no experience, if indeed the DNA found outside came from inside or was just stationary outside being a watchdog and making sure that he's just watching in case cops comes or whatnot. And also, now that we're mentioning the third DNA outside, it's only fair to make a executive mention to the two other DNAs, higher quality DNAs found in the third floor room, right in the killing premises. It's very particular. It's very interesting when way before you get to Kohberger and you get to analyze his DNA and breaking it down to an atom and do the IgG, magical IgG salute. What makes you look away from all this other evidence? Way before any content creators sit here and try to have a narrative of what they believe, because whatever they've been learning from news media outlets, but your mentality doesn't allow you to comprehend and a little more devil's advocate on bias, and let's just put all the cards on the table and let's just pick what makes sense by default. Criminal investigation, this type of criminal investigation by default, it has to follow protocol, chain of command, chain of custody, all these details that it seems very minute for some people, but those become very big details when it comes to get to resolution about a case. Because little small details that people could call small details, it could be the game changer on any investigation. You just gotta pay attention to that one detail that everyone is not even looking at it. Big shout out to Cheryl Butler. Thank you so much. Great comment. Amy Conway agrees. Yes. Hemisphere. Shout out to Hemisphere. I don't understand why they're still holding Kohberger. You see, appreciate that comment. It's all loopholes. It's all legal loopholes. Okay. He was supposed to have a bond bail hearing. Let's make sure that everybody understand. He was supposed to see a bond hearing because the state had only so much time to get Kohberger trapped. When I mean trapped, is making sure that the indictment comes back way before he gotta have his bail hearing. Because again, even on his bail hearing, that's like any other pretrial. That's like any other what we've been having right now, making sure that the state the judge and the whole world understand that whatever they have against this man is not complete for anyone to point finger at him and be like, yeah, he guilty. At this day today is really nothing there in concrete, solid, undisputed, that we could sit there and say like, yeah, this man is cooked. The only reason why Kohberger is still locked up at this day today is because as soon as he got indicted, all that bail, all that stuff goes out the way. Now, again, the main focus of the defense team is making sure that the narrative that the state been putting out in legacy media comes back and bite him in the butt. Making sure that in court, all those narratives that we've been spread in the media. One second, please. They're making sure that they prove those narratives wrong in court. Doing that, they're going to prove biasness within that locality, probably within that court, probably within that judge. Believe me, Ann Taylor is focusing on any type of court foul play, due process, malicious prosecution, all this stuff is on the table. If they would allow Kohberger to get to that bail bond hearing, the state would have to bring to court the same things they brought to the secret indictment, which again, now is coming out. Now the defense team is gonna X all that out. Best believe. Because it seems if the records don't come back as they created them, Cy Ray gonna confirm either he did it, either he don't. At this point, at this time and point, the records of how they created the evidence to bring to the secret indictment is incomplete. If the information is available and they could retroactive the information and track back everything was done to bring to the secret indictment hearings, took 3 days to come back with indictment. So that was 3 days that they were listening to the state having their presentation on everything they had against this man. But then now they are fighting to get it out of Layton County. Even though if they get it out of Layton County, I believe that it depends wherever they're gonna take it to. I don't know. I heard Boise. They mentioned Boise. If you ask me, at the time it gets moved away from Layton County, now you still have to go through the whole situation of making sure that the state meet all the deadlines. Because people need to understand, way before, like, let's say with the change of venue, the court get to Kit the same day. Great. So now keeping the same date, the state have to make sure that they respond all the requests from the defense team on time. If not, consequences gonna, like, legal consequences are gonna be met. Just get that clear. The defense team is ready and willing to strike everything that they call evidence off the table. In my personal opinion, by the time Ann Taylor is done with this case, she's gonna wipe everything off because it's irrelevant. Is fairly irrelevant because everything they have on the table on evidence against Mr. Kohberger is not relatable. It's not attachable to his persona or his timing or where he was, what he was doing, or whatnot. Because again, people need to understand, just because the government said that they hit bullseye on Kohberger's DNA at the night shift, at the location, they still have to prove that. They still have to prove that everything, every method, every laboratory test, every protocol, every chain of custody cannot be broken. If the chain of custody gets broken, it has to be a reason for that. You can just call it and be okay, you know. So yeah, to him, to answer hemisphere comment, yes, I do understand why they still holding him in lockup, and again, it's all about the prosecution move their tactical pieces to make sure that the bill is out of the question. You know, soon as that indictment came back, it was a wrap. It was no coming back from that. Let me take a few more comments real quick to get back to the listen, and I'm gonna keep sharing your comments, and I'm gonna keep answering you back. You know, we here, we in true crime chat rooms. This is what we do. We hang out, have a good conversation, and make sure that we spend some time that is worth it for everyone to listen to. Big shout out to Bruce Maguire from Mindshock, and we are listening to one of the best true crime content creators. Let's listen.
Moscow police also pointed out Friday that the victims were not tied and gagged during the attack. The victims' autopsies did not find signs of sexual assault, Mabbitt said. Method of entry and weapon still question marks. When police arrived at the home after they received a 911 call, the door was open and there was no damage inside, Moscow Police Chief James Fry said. There was no evidence of forced entry, he said. One of the doors used to access the home has a keypad lock that requires a code to gain entry. Why are they not specifying which door? So the other doors don't? I mean, you would think that'd be the front door. So was there a back door? So the police arrived, the door was open. I mean, that usually means the front door.
I want to make sure that everybody understands that this was a information from the very beginning of the case. So to clarify that, yes, the front door had a keypad, you know, that you could have put the code and enter the residence, you know. But then a lot of people had the code to enter through the front door. Also, the front door and keypad will collect fingerprints. It was a comment that I heard not long ago. I haven't confirmed it yet, But I want to put it out there for y'all to do your homework and probably come back to me with that little homework for you. I heard that the key lock, the keypad in front of the door had a camera. I don't know if anyone wanna try to confirm that, because if he had a camera, right, it was looking towards the road. It's a possibility. It's some keypads that don't have no camera, just the buttons and whatnot. But if anyone wanna look into that and see what's up, I will appreciate. I'll share it with the community and send you a shout out. But yeah, and again, that goes back to the back door being unlocked at all time. It doesn't have a lock. Like it doesn't lock. The back door doesn't lock. Some people from the locals mentioned that that back door was purposely left unlocked for boys' purposes. Y'all could take it however y'all want to take it with that. But again, I totally understand what that means. You know that the back door was always unlocked. Again, the only way that back door locked was with a bar stool chair put in the floor against the door and the frame. That's the only way that door didn't open. But then that means that you needed someone to pull the chair from the back door for that back door to be able to be opened by anyone. Again, let's make that clear. That back door was locked when it needed to be locked. Let's be clear. That door was locked when it needed to be locked. But that door was not locked at all time. Again, for boys' purposes or whatnot, whatever was going on. Okay. So having the front door wide open, I could only conclude that the back door was open too. But again, it was already getting chilly. It was already getting cold. So while the front door was wide open, and the back door shut, because also was comments about the heater of this house was going off. Like the heater was pretty high. I don't know. You know, again, when you leave the like both doors open and the heat is on, the heat is gonna overwork and it's gonna try to keep the heat inside of the house. Um, it's a gross scene. It's a very, very delicate, very um bad crime scene, which uh certain smells, certain type of chemistry from the decomposition of the bodies will start. The bodies will start reacting to the environment, and is is trigger warning. Is very sad and in a way is being shared that the bodies of these young adults were done in that awful crime. Is very sad. It was also mentioned that it was actually a party around that time too. We're talking about it got confirmed that around the time that Kiely and Maddie are calling Jack the Cool, it was a party happening at the house. It was people, it was music, it was a party at the house before the killing happened. This right here gives more look to inner plot. They all know each other. They all know each other. And especially if they decided to take their life, I believe they're gonna sneak in like everything is good, is regular. I've been saying it for a long time that the main target, the trigger for everything to happen how it happened was Kiely and her own personal situation with Jack the Cool. Jack the Cool was the reason why this didn't happen before. Because his own personal feelings towards Kiely, y'all heard it. The mom said that the mother said they were supposed to go back together. They were supposed to go back together. She left him for no reason, just being a brat. It's confirmed that Ethan had a fight with Loach at the frat house. That's confirmed. Kara, big shout out to Kara, Sana's mom, confirmed that. Sana called Kara and let her know about the scuffle at the frat house between Ethan and Loach. That's confirmed. Big shout out to Kara. But in a way, Sana brought it to her mom. It was regular things. Brothers fighting. That's what boys do. It was a non-issue by the time Sana brought it to her mom. Minutes right after it happened. It was a non-issue. It was a non-worry about nothing. It's good. It is what it is. Ethan got that. He okay. So if anything happened out of that fight or any decision was taken out of that fight, in cahoot and plotted with whatever own personal situation was going on with the girls in the third floor between them, Jack the Cool, Jake, John Jack Showalker, Adam, Dylan Mortensen. Shit, we can't even omit Bethany Funk. You have to put them all in the pot. You have to put them all in the pot. Loach, the twins, they were triplets, but now the twins, You got to put them all in the pot. Hunter, brother and not brother, friends or not friends. You got to put them all in the pot. You got to put them all in the pot. Unfortunately, like it or not like it, just because she's so close to the situation, Olivia Goncalves, you need to put it in the pot with the rest of the kids. Why? Because Jack the Cool. One day, I'm going to tell you why. I made that video a long time ago, and I totally understand the reasons why Moscow PD didn't want that video up, and they nice and polite asked me to take it down, which is okay. It's all good. I totally understand the reasons why. But you have to include Olivia Goncalves with the part of Jack Decor, Adam, Dylan, all of them. You have to include Olivia Goncalves with them. The family, unfortunately, with them, because they have stuck for him. So when they stuck for him, when the heat and everything was pointing at him and his boys, the family of the main target, Kiely, came out on his defense and news media outlets to the work for the world to see. They did that without no kind of proof, because by the time they did that, it was not even it was never an investigation against Jack Decor. Let me just explain that from the beginning. This is why he gave Moscow PD a very simplistic alibi backed up by his boys. That he was slipping right next door to the murder scene. Oh, he slept through it too, just like in the first flow, right? And then they had to change the narrative. When Jack Decor is gonna change the alibi, that's when he gonna feel the hot water boiling on his feet. Because remember, Dylan Mortensen already changed her alibi second week. She knew she couldn't stuck with it. She knew, because she needed Bethany, and like Bethany wanted out. I don't know. Leave me alone. I don't want nothing to do with it. Which again, she's still on the pot. Because the only time that we're gonna get her out the pot is whenever she report her incident, what she witnessed. Soon as Bethany Funk tell her story, and when she does, we're gonna see if everything makes sense, and then we could get her out of the equation. But for the time being, we have to keep them all in the pot. We have to keep them all. I'm gonna get back to the chat, guys. I'm gonna get back to the chat. Moscow PD didn't do that. We're gonna get back to the sound. We're gonna get back to the Bruce Maguire conversation. We're not gonna make it too long. We're not gonna make it too short. I want to make sure that we share with Jeff for a little bit longer. We have a good time here. We have a conversation in the chat, but we're gonna be listening to Bruce Maguire. Let's get something clear. I've been the only content creator since day one, telling everyone that Bryan Kohberger is not the guy. Since day one, I've been telling you that Jack Decor and his friends, and even Dylan Mortensen, are all in the pot of suspects. They talking about 500 tips in the very beginning of the yeah. I know. And then what happened after they arrest Kohberger? What happened after Kohberger was arrested? The tip line was blowing the fuck off, telling authorities that they have the wrong man. They have the wrong people. That's why they diverted the calls to the FBI, because their system is they don't even respond back. They don't. Because again, they know it all. When Kohberger was arrested, Moscow PD cut all the tips and outsourced it to the FBI, because they were tired of getting phone calls of the whole community telling them that they have the wrong guy. And there's many other people like myself telling them all the details that they missed, probably purposely missed, for timeline adjustment. I totally understand that. But then that's something else that we could talk about some other day. That's also confirmed by the mother of one of the victims. Ain't nobody can argue with me about that. He's already shared with Moscow PD. It's a lot of things that I tell you that I'm trying to make sure I keep you in tune. So when y'all hearing the message of these other flunky content creators out there, you understand they making you waste your time. Over here in True Crime chat room, we trying to keep content creators like Bruce Maguire, like, you know, Holly Martin, Speak Van Holden, Rockchalk, Max, Larissa, many other content creators. We try to keep content creators that have an open way to thought and to understand that you have to make it make sense. It's things that the government could try to push it down the people's throat. But if it doesn't make sense, the only people they will accept that information is those that are incapable to actually critical think thoughts. It's that simple. So I'm gonna get to the chat. Let's listen to Bruce Warrior, Mindshock. Big shout out to everyone watching. Thank you so much. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and share the content. Let's go.
But then it says not the door. Then it says one of the doors used to access the home has a keypad lock. So how many doors were there? 2 or 3 even? I mean, most homes have at least 2. Olivia Gonzalez.
Yeah, by the way, that was 2 doors. And now you're gonna mention Olivia Goncalves right now.
Alves, Kiely's sister, noted that the residence was known to be a party house and had been for some time.
So this is the one problem. This is the one problem that I still have with Olivia Goncalves. She put herself in the mix right away. She and her family shared the most. Try to make themselves look like they know something else. In the very beginning, mom and dad made sure that everyone understood that this did not happen from a total stranger. Again, think about why, since day one, Kiely's family was the ones that took the lead on the information sharing and took part of the investigation. Because the killer is Jack the Cool. And everyone is protecting this boy and his friends. But guess what? If you ask me, on my humble opinion, when he decided to go through this and commit this massacre, that's when whoever had something against Ethan and Santa were utilized to take him out. So when Harsh Reality said that he believed that both floors were the target, I 100% believe that both floors were the target, but the trigger, what ignited for this massacre to occur, was on the third floor with Kiely and whatever she had going on with Jack DeCole. The second male up there, people say not, but in my personal opinion, which I don't know nothing, that could be Jake. Boyfriend and ex-boyfriend taking their girlfriends out for a very last time. And then their boys, they have problems already with Ethan and Santa, brought them along to get the situation resolved. They know that whoever was in the party, they not gonna say shit. They know what's up. Everyone inside the house knew what's up. I bet you everyone felt the vibe when these guys went inside the house. I bet you people that know these people knew when they went in there, they already knew what was about to happen. And they were just masking and entertaining the back door. Just masking and entertaining that one hidden quitter to Ethan, so it wouldn't be no one to fight a fight and then chase Santa and finish the job. It's in the autopsy. Ethan got hit right here in the jugular. It was no fight. He was done. He got hit and left a long wound right on his neck. A K-bar could have not done this. Only a hatchet or a long machete, a short machete. That's the only two things that could have do something like that. Which I want people to pay attention. I just beg people to pay attention in detail. If you actually care about the victims, pay attention. Don't do it for me. Who cares about what Jrod Point wants you to do? I don't want you to do nothing but click like and subscribe and share the content. And if you could put a tip, listen, if you could put a tip, you put a tip. If you can, you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even a big deal. I'm okay. I'm good. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna leave it there just in case you're interested to drop a tip. Something for the coffee. You know what I'm saying? Make sure catch up the On Point family if you find any value in the information that I bring here to the table. You know what I mean? Let me check the chat real quick before we continue. Yeah, I totally agree. It's been a dangerous place for some time, but again, it's like for the area, it's pretty safe. Because again, you're not gonna party on an area that you don't feel safe. You know what I mean? But yes, at the same time safe, but yes, dangerous for other people or for themselves if they are the wrong side of the at the wrong side of the hatchet. No pun intended. But going back to that, I want to make sure that people understand that one person could have not done this. Just think about the timeline that they gave the whole world day one. That the victims lost their life between 3 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's the very first timeline. That was the timeline that I shared to Moscow PE, that even her mom, Kaylee's mom, shared with the world, that she will not stop calling whoever she's calling. She will power call you until you either reply back or she see you face to face. People just need to pay attention. Remember, they're calling Jack the call. They're taking his temperature. Because again, she shared something at that bar to Adam that I believe, due to the whole information gathered, that was the key component for the decisioning of killing the 4 young adults. Whatever Kiely shared to Adam to give the message to Jack the Cole, because remember, when the information came out, it was very specific. This was information given to Adam to give to Jack the Cole. Because again, when people say like, oh, Maddie was the one talking to Adam, no, please pay attention. I'm not trying to make no one feel a certain way. For those people that believe that it was Maddie talking to Adam, please don't feel embarrassed, but you are wrong. Because Kaylee was the one talking to Adam, giving her some information to give to Jack the Cole, because she was leaving next day morning. She was supposed to leave. Like by the time she left the bar, whatever, getting something to eat, they were supposed to go to sleep for her to get back up and go home and never come back ever again. So if you have spent years and years since middle school knowing these guys, like you know this guy that said that you know Maddie as more you knew Jack the Cole. You knew this man for a long time, together with him for a long time. You're supposed to get married. You left him for no reason. What about it before you leave? You want to do a good deed to the man and share just because you don't have the heart to tell the man first to face what was the reason why you left him. I believe that you would tell his best friend. It has happened before. This is not the first time that I hear something like this. It has happened before. The girls don't have the heart or the guts to tell the ex-boyfriend the reasons why, but they want to give him closure. They want to give him closure out of the respect and the love of the time spent, of all the years spent together, to honor that. Just to honor that. I'm gonna tell you exactly why I left you. I can tell you because I know how you gonna react. But I think if I tell you best friend, him knowing how crazy you are, he gonna find a way, or at least that's what she believed, that Adam will find a way to tell Jack the Cole the reasons why, to have closure. But then that, instead of bringing closure to the situation, was her and her friend's death sentence. The gravity of what her friends knew, we don't know. The gravity of the secrets that they could hold for Kiely, we don't know. But I know that if it was something like that, and the man gets to find out that her friends knew and they didn't tell you nothing. And then as long that depend who knew, and the longest that they knew, that's the gravity goes up. Now he just keep getting excuses and excuses to actually do it. We already knew that his relationship with her was toxic for years. Like, we knew that. Moscow PD knew that. Let's listen to Bruce Maguire. Let's listen. I'll get back to the chat to talk to you.
She won't say they were very private. So I won't say they were very private with that code, Gonzalez.
And again, I want to go back to Olivia real quick. It's like she gives you like the breadcrumbs to make sure that you knew that this was an inside job between like her friends and ex-boyfriends. Like they giving you the breadcrumbs. Olivia Goncalves and the Goncalves family, they have given you the breadcrumbs to let you know that this was an inside job between friends and ex-boyfriends and stuff. But then at the same time, they're gonna try to save Jack the Cool. Make that make sense. Just make that make sense to the point. No one got investigated. No one. For you to exclude someone from an investigation, for you to clear someone from an investigation, you have to investigate. You have to get data. In the same way you found cell phone data from Kohberger and all these other shit that you're talking about, cameras and shit. Well, how about you bring out your 48-hour investigation? Because your 48-hour investigation is what is gonna seal the fate of those suspects. Because again, in the very beginning, Moscow PD said that no one is clear, everyone is getting investigated. So now, when you interview 30 plus people, that don't mean you question and you interrogate possible suspects. Because an interview is not part of an investigation. You could have interviewed 30 plus people. In the same way, you don't have the recording of Bryan Kohberger interview. I bet you anything there is nowhere to find the recording, if it's any recording from those interviews within the inner circle, Jack the Core, for him to give you the alibi, Adam, everyone inside, because the roommates and the whole inner circle needed to declare everything that they know about this. They needed to declare everything they know about this. Who was inside of the house, when they were inside of the house, especially if you was inside of the house by the time this is going on, who was inside of the house, you knew. It is no way in hell. Again, is too many people that knew what happened when it happened. Let's get that clear. Too many people, but the 911 system, to authorities, it was too much people. Youngins, adults, staff, non-staff. But something that is very clear that we do know, that a lot of people knew that this massacre happened way before authorities knew about it. So that now all those people that knew about it need to come forward. That's a very long investigation by itself. That by itself. the DNA, that's another battle by itself. Because then now you not just have Kohberger in the sheath. Now you have two other DNA samples within the vicinity of the third floor. And I'm a mind shock you. I'm a mind shock you. I'm a mind shock, and I want you to take this as homework and share it with the people. Just share it with the people. Okay. That sheath was found on the third floor, right next to the victims, right? And allegedly, that's Kohberger DNA code in that sheath, right? So, if that was Kohberger DNA on that sheath, and he's the person that killed the third floor, was you proof? Was the state proof that indicates that Kohberger was the person that killed Ethan and Sana? Just that by itself. Just that by itself. Okay. The state has to prove how that DNA got up there. They have to. If it gets to that, which is being proved, and the state have an emphasis letting the whole world know that the IGG is out of the question in court. They're not going to use it against Kohberger. But the IGG was the same thing that got Kohberger locked up. How you going to exclude that off trial? Is not in the evidence pile available. It is not going to be utilized in court. So how come the Kohberger was arrested utilizing the IGG? That's why he got Kohberger locked up, right? But you're not going to use it. So now, what you're going to use for you to prove that Kohberger entered that residence when you don't have forensics, they will tell you in court where the assailants or assailant came through in and out. This is facts. This is facts. This is facts. How are you going to prove that Kohberger entered that residence when you can't even prove that with Dylan Mortensen? You can't even put Kohberger's car in Moscow as we speak today. The state cannot put Kohberger's car around that residence, not now on video, not by cell phone ping, triangulation, test drive, whatever you want to call it, at this day, today. Tomorrow it might be a whole other thing, but today is nothing at all in court that the state have. They will prove that Kohberger entered that residence for him to even be guilty on a burglary. Because that's his, remember, I want everyone, sometimes I feel like I'm repeating myself. I want everyone to understand his first charge before the murder ones is the burglary, which became a felony with the aggravants of the deaths. So if you can prove that he entered the residence and the IGG's out the question for whatever the reason, but it's out the question, right? So now you have to prove where he entered, where and when he entered that residence, where he went first, the second floor, first floor. Now you got to have the time of death of all the victims and stuff. The time of death of each victim will tell you the trail and the breadcrumb to know how long it took him to kill everyone or to wound them to the point that it was no point of return, or wound them to the point that if, let's say, they would have called the roommates would have called 911 right there when it happened, and the perpetrators needed to run through the back door because cops got there. We don't know if one or two of the victims would have got safe. We don't know. We don't know. If they did a proper forensic report, they'll know. But then now you got to bring all these details in court. How can they prove that Kohberger entered the residence when you can't even prove that his car crosses state lines? Where we at? Are we gonna act like? Are we gonna act like we don't see the bullshit in this investigation? Like, are we gonna sit here seriously and we're gonna act like authorities follow the proper protocol in this investigation? For you to get to Kohberger, you needed to get all the inner circle out the way. But if you didn't investigate the inner circle, how you knew who to clear? Everything on face value, like what? You interview. Because guys, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that Moscow PD did to clear the inner circle. An interview and done deal. No type of concrete investigation that you could bring to court to Ann Taylor and say, in the first 48 investigations, the first 48 hours of investigation, you need to show who was your suspect. You have to have a suspect. It's no way you don't have a suspect. You have to have a suspect or suspects in the first 48. This is why when other content creators I listen to and they are on that, oh, well, they got to Kohberger because this and that, or their mother snitching, or this one Aryan Nation guy got arrested, and the mothers was snitching, and this is an Aryan Nation, and one thing got to the other. When I hear all that, listen, man, I wish you nothing but luck, man, because I can't even focus on people that don't want to listen. They don't have to listen to me. Just listen to the information that is out there. And again, for a content creator to tell you that they have investigated this since day one, this is day one. I like to bring people day one. Because everything after Kohberger don't mean nothing. And I'm telling you this out of the bottom of my heart. Don't mean nothing. This is why when we hear all these, sure, but like, Nancy Grace, it's many, I like to mention the big content creators, you know what I'm saying? I mean, any content creator is bigger than me. But I believe that I bring something to the table that they don't. I wish I could reach out to those content creators that, they really don't have no idea what's really going on. And they doing great. I'm going to tell you, they're getting a lot of views. But in the same way, when I see those content creators getting a lot of views, that just tells me that that's how much people out there really don't have no idea on what's going on. Because they're only stuck on Kohberger. What about everything that he happened way before Kohberger? The change of time of death, of timelines. First he was 3 to 4, then 4 to 5. Come on. Come on. It's very obvious who they protecting, which is the interest of the University of Idaho. Listen, Jack Decor and none of these boys from the bandos are important enough. Let's keep it real. None of these guys are important enough for the University of Idaho, the powers to be protecting them. It's not about them. It's about the university. It's about the money that it comes out of the university, the fame, the prestige, the culture that they say that they offer and they advertise all over the world for people from all over the world to come and go there and study in the University of Idaho. That's what they will miss. That's what they will not have if any foul play from the entity overall it gets found, which again is a very tough project. But I believe in God, and I got faith. I got faith that everyone is gonna get exposed. It's gonna get exposed. You know when it's gonna get exposed? Sooner BK walk out. Sooner BK walk out. It's gonna be a domino effect. In the same way, Dylan Morton's gonna change the alibi, flip flop from week 1 to week 2. I believe if that happened, Jack Decor is gonna change his alibi too. And they have to be forced to look into what they ignore. That's going to be the problem, because then now if they do go back to open those wounds, Remember, we don't have no victims. There's no bodies for more forensics. There's no house for more forensics or walkthroughs and all like that. Jrod, that's a good point. Kiely came there at Dylan's request to go to One Plus function. Yes, but she hung out with Maddie. No mention of Kiely going anywhere with Dylan. Yes, yes. That was a point that I wanted to share with everyone for a long time. Again, this is information the Moscow PD is fully aware. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you so much. Very appreciate it. Thank you for everyone commenting. Very appreciate it. So I'm probably gonna keep it here. I'm gonna probably make a second part. Let me see how many views we get out of this presentation. Big shout out to Bruce Maguire. Want to make sure that everyone gets a little piece of this information. Because again, right now we having a hearing pretty soon, a change of venue. A lot of people been asking me about the change of venue, what I think about that. I believe the change of venue is gonna be fully in full effect. Nancy Grace and everyone else is making it very easy for Ann Taylor to get this case out of there. Chair said, "Yeah, I used to watch you all the time, then lost track when I left YouTube for a short time." Thank you, Chair. I appreciate you though. Now we always here, we always here in True Crime chat room. Also over there on the main channel, as always in the Jrod On Point channel. True Crime America with Jrod On Point. That's the new name that I for that channel. Hopefully you like the concept. Hemisphere with the nature of the stabbings. There was multiple people involved, and it's hard for me to believe on one man can do all that stabbing and left with only one footprint. Yes, yes. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. For the wounds being produced by K bar, being produced by Wanna Selling, um, you know, some people try to make it look like they got the second floor first and then the third floor, because again, it's like Goncalves Senior said, like, oh, they didn't have to go to the third floor, making it sound like, Ethan and Santa were the target or whatnot. We're gonna share a little bit more about this pretty soon, you know. Again, due to we only covering the Kiely Rodni case and the Idaho full, sometimes you gotta have the conversation some other day. You know what I mean? Because knowing so much about this case, sometimes like it gets other people lost. Like, again, I wish I could reach out to certain content creators so I could actually give him some light on what's going on. But how you gonna talk to a concrete wall? Because I know it's content creators that are putting content out there, and again, they speculate. And they said it very clear that they speculating and stuff like that. They let you know they're speculating, and it's really no base and fundament on what they're talking about. And I know they do that to get a response out of any content creator, and probably that way they get some guidance and some content shout outs and stuff like that. But like right now, to tell you the truth, I really don't want to, like, for free. I only work with a chosen few, and again, that's Holy Martin, Speak Van Holden. Y'all know the lineup. Y'all know the people that I keep close. That I will work for free, and I will share content and information and have a great topic, a great conversation. I mean, that I could count it with my 5 fingers. Um, Harch, big shout out to Harch. He said he's try to make time to go live with me at some point someday. Hopefully that day ever come through. I appreciate. I would love to have a conversation with Harsh Reality, and I know, at least I know my community will love that. Again, I don't know about Harsh Reality community. Like again, it's a lot of subscribers that we share, but at the same time, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. It's okay. What I mean? I don't even want to be everyone's cup of tea. But big shout out to Harch. Yeah, with Harch, I will work for free with Harch. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, all these other content creators, even for me to talk with them on the phone, like, yeah, you have to pay me. Some people didn't like that I was like, just want to work with other people by pay. But yeah, it's like, just think about it. All the content creators that right now, you know who they are. That now they started mentioning Jack Decor. That now everything that we've been talking about here for the past 2 years between all our channels, we have witnesses that I've been the only content creator crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's. I've been working with other content creators. Y'all know who they are, for free, just to go and show some love. But it gets to a point that when it gets certified out of discussion, that is actually no one could argue with me what I know about the Idaho 4 case. For the past 2 years, in the Kiely Rodni case and the Idaho 4 case, thanks to God and my common sense and my own homework, everything is being coming back. Everything that I've been telling you, it has come back. The common sense that I've been putting in this investigation is the only common sense. You cannot try to figure that out how they got to Kohberger, or worrying about who's the confidential informant, who's niche on who, Emma Bailey, Demetrius Robertson, people that don't have nothing to do with what happened in this house. People that don't have nothing to do with whatever, if anything, shared to the authorities. They focus in on the wrong emails, that it shows in few, just it shows in few. And if you ask me, it's only one person with multiple accounts going to all the content creators, throwing a whole bunch of stupid shit on emails through multiple different names. And of course, if one content creator get various information that all make sense, and all this information from different names and different emails, but the information match each other, that one new stupid content creator that don't know no better, has never been in YouTube until the Idaho fall, stupid, gonna see here and pay even attention, not do your own homework and go and pay attention to these crazy people on emails, or these crazy person on emails spreading a whole bunch of crazy shit. Emma Bailey, Demetrius Ransom, these people don't have nothing to do with this case. Sometimes it feels like like whoever's pushing this narrative, right, through emails to content creators, that then the content creators eat all this shit. And this is all new content creators, because harsh reality not paying attention to the emails. I'm not, you don't see me. My moderators could tell you if I pay attention to my emails to bring any information here to this show. You could ask Amy, you could ask Joanne, you could ask Top Petit, you could ask any one of my moderators that has sent me emails. You could ask them if I use any information of any email in my show. We could agree on certain in certain points, and we could agree in certain things, and we could share the agreement through the emails, and we could, probably send a little hint of something that they picked up. But just because, all respect to them, they know I love them. I love all my moderators. That's unlimited love. But we are grown adults. Not all information that is shared is there to be utilized. Probably not now, probably at some point. But none of my moderators could tell you that I use anyone's information, because I don't. I don't care. Whoever has sent me, listen, I don't care who has sent me whatever they have sent me on emails. I will not follow. Why? Because I do my own homework. I do the work. I appreciate the moderators that share their point of view and their thoughts, and that could possibly guide me to a good hint, to a good, but they'll know if whatever I use from their information, they'll know if I apply it to what I got going on in my own homework. They'll tell you if I use it or not, or they tell you if I pay their attention to it or not. And again, they know my moderators know I have mad love and respect for them. I love them all. Same thing with subscribers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I have mad love and respect for everyone. Big shout out to Brenda. Emma sounds like someone said Emma on Linda Lane. No, it sounds like Emma Bailey don't have nothing to do with this case, and Linda Lane neither, honey. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to Brenda. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I'm sorry if I burst your bubble. But yeah, this hemisphere is there. Big shout out. All these Emma Bailey and Demetrius and all these other theories and stuff like that. Guys, if y'all want justice for the victims, focus on everything way before Kohberger. If y'all really, if y'all really want to study what happened in this case, just pay attention to everything that it happened in the very beginning, way before the white Helantra even was mentioned. Because that's another thing that we're gonna get into it probably this week. This week we're gonna make sure we're gonna come back and we're gonna give you more rice and beans about everything that is going on. But yeah, we have we have made it clear like the reasons why. Again, and sometimes I feel that I'm like spinning around circles. But yeah, Emma Bailey has not never mentioned the only way. I'm losing my voice a little bit, so we're gonna cut it off a little bit. We're gonna leave it for tomorrow, probably in the upcoming days. Now that we got the studio back going on, um, because people is involving Emma Bailey and Demetrius and all these niching and stuff to get to someone, Kopak and Kohberger and all these other shit. That's another narrative to like keep the focus away from the people that we need to focus on. And the same people that did not got investigated was never made suspect. So again, if they don't make you a suspect, they're not gonna investigate you as a suspect. You have to declare them suspect. They said it out their mouth that everyone is being looking into. But what we got out of that investigation, only interviews. An interview is not an investigation. You have to become a suspect for them. The funds of the government get applied to the investigation because you are a suspect. Jack Decor and no one else was made a suspect for them to investigate and then clear. None of that happened. So if y'all smarties out there could make it make sense of why Jack Decor and everyone else, roommates, family members, friends, enemy, lovers, and all that, got clear without an investigation. If y'all know that info, I would appreciate if y'all share that. Because guess what? Law enforcement cannot clear no one if they don't investigate them. So how you got to Kohberger when you didn't investigate the inner circle at all whatsoever? Is no proof. It's not a 48-hour investigation that Moscow PD could give and Taylor on discovery because they don't have it. That's part of the discovery that Ann Taylor requested the state. And that's where we having the biggest problem of rendering discovery. It's right there on record. She requested a 48-hour investigation of this case. And at this day today, they still cannot come forward with nothing. So how you got all this evidence, all these terabytes, all these not unapplicable conversation? If you can provide Ann Taylor with a 48-hour investigation report, how can we take you serious about having a Kohberger locked up, which nothing that they have presented. They don't have the proof. They have the theory. They have the theory on paper, but the work to get to that theory don't have. So it's a created and fabricated theory that is keeping Kohberger locked up until he's proven, probably before trial. But I'm telling you, if they keep the trial date after they move it from Layton County, if they keep the time date, I promise you that if Ant Taylor could dismiss, we prove that he didn't do it. We prove, because remember, they're gonna try to stigma the guy. They're gonna try to stigma the guy. Or if the state dropped the ball and the man walked, oh, he's still the killer. They just couldn't put it together. Or they try to put it together illegally. It didn't work, but he's still the guy. I promise you. Yes, Tanel. By the time Ant Taylor, after it gets moved somewhere else, all these motion to suppress evidence, because the evidence don't have no backup. When the evidence don't have no backup, you cannot recreate the evidence that you presented on the indictment on those 3 days. They have to recreate. If the information is available, they have to recreate the same information that got Kohberger locked up. If they cannot recreate that information that got Kohberger indicted, the indictment goes out the door. That's out the door. And I'm gonna go a little step further. I believe that Ant Taylor gonna make sure that Cy Ray and everyone on her team works with the goal of for us to dismiss this crispy clean way before trial. We have to make sure that we prove without any benefit of the doubt. We have to prove that Kohberger was not even around, that he did not cross state lines. Because they already know that the state don't have nothing to prove that Kohberger, it was even in Moscow. They don't even have that. So if they can't even prove that Kohberger was in Moscow, how are they going to prove that Kohberger entered the residence? Now they have to explain how the IGG and the whole process of it, because believe me, as soon as they don't make no sense in court, they're going to backtrack that whole information on how we got there. They're going to investigate the investigators. I believe everything is going to be put in place, especially now that Ant Taylor is working for the state. Now she's not working for the county. Now she's working for Idaho State. Now is more funds. Now is more connections. Now, if it's any foul play or any fuckery detected within this case, all heads are going to roll. But the most important thing of all is getting justice for the victims. Just getting justice. We know and understand why they looked away from the vandals to go for 2 guys from out of state. They don't have no connections with the victims. Yeah, we understand the Kopaka, he was working in the IT department in the University of Idaho and whatnot. That don't mean that he had any connection to the victims. That connection has not never made clear. In the same way, the connection of Kohberger with the victims Is no connection at this day today. Tomorrow, we don't know. At this day today is nothing. No party, no nothing, because everything's been narrative. Remember, you got to pay attention to what is being said in court. And Taylor cannot tell in court that her client don't have no connections to the victims when the state could find a connection. At this day today, with everything the state has shared with Ann Taylor, that's why she tells you is no connection. He don't know the victims, don't know the friends of the victims. He don't know no one. Like, you said that he was around the house. Prove it. You said that he crossed state lines. Prove it. It's sad. It's sad that I wish the state would focus on the people they needed to focus. It's going to be a day we're going to have that conversation. That what would I have done if I was in power of the investigation? I'm going to have probably a video. I'm probably going to do a live stream about it. But I'm going to tell you exactly by the book law. I'm going to go on. Listen, I want to have that live stream. We're going to talk about it, what Moscow PD was supposed to do in the 48-hour investigation of this case. But again, losing my voice. We've been here for 3 hours. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for everyone here. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you for Amy Conway for being here. Hemisphere. Cherry Butler, thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. Sorry if I didn't get to all the comments. But I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much. So guys, we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much. We're going to leave it here so we go have so much for later. Thank you so much for everyone that was watching. For everyone there sharing the chat, thank you so much. Big shout out to Bruce Maguire. Go and subscribe to Mindshock. We're gonna have a part 2 in this conversation. We're gonna go back to the film and get back to more chit chat of what happened the first week on this investigation of the Idaho 4 and Bryan Kohberger. Hopefully y'all enjoy. And I'm going to see you soon. Now we got the studio back up and running. I'm going to start doing schedules and we're going to get back to work. I got to bring Speak Bang Holding, Holly, Martin, Rock Chuck, Max, Larissa. I got to bring them to the show and hang out with them. I'm going to close the poll. And the poll is 32% of people said guilty and 67% of people said that Bryan Kohberger is innocent. Thank you so much for the 88 people that voted. Thank you so much for everyone to watch. Thank you for the new subscribers. I appreciate you. If y'all keep coming around, you know, pretty soon one day y'all become a moderator, and that'll be great. But for now, as y'all can see, I'm running out of voice. Subscribe to True Crime Chat Room. Make sure to subscribe to Jrod On Point. If you find any value in the conversation that we have here, please make sure you send some love to the Catch app, the On Point family. Click like, subscribe, and share the content. And that's going to be all for today. We're going to see y'all soon. This is Dewert Entertainment Network. Thank you so much for coming by. Very appreciate it. Hopefully y'all like this studio. Try to change the lights and stuff. So make sure that y'all click like, subscribe, share the content, and I'm going to see y'all soon. Pretty soon we're going to start coming live a little bit more often and more videos going to come out. We got the studio back up in business, so it's gonna be a good thing. Gonna leave you with your favorite song before we go. Thank you so much, Jerry. We appreciate it. Have a good day, have a good morning, have a good night.